All right, so I'm making this video because I personally had such a difficult time with the procurement module and POs and how this all ties together. I finally ended up cracking this when I got COVID. I was stuck in my room for about 2 days, and I was just determined to figure out how this procurement module and all this stuff works out. So, what I'm going to describe is what we do here, and I'll try to add more context as I explain this. But this should be helpful for anyone trying to do this in Autotask. So, the first thing to know is most of the things that you're going to go and procure is going to start off with an opportunity. So, I use Zumentum, and we do a lot of stuff through Zumentum. Zumentum talks to Autotask, and opportunities are synced both ways between Autotask and Zumentum. So when I'm not going to show you Zumentum, but when we go to Zumentum, create an opportunity, we get those syncing. So let me just go to opportunities. We have a company called Acme Corporation, and let's just create a new opportunity for them. Here we go, and this is for new server project. And we're just going to mark this as a prospect stage. Let's do Monday, and I believe that's all I need. Let's see, save and create quote. There we go. So we typically don't do this in Autotask. We do this on Zumentum, but I'm just showing you so that we have something to work off of. So bear with me while I try to figure some of this stuff out. Save and open quote. There we go. Now I'm going to go to new item. We're going to sell a piece of product. Let's see what I have for Dell. All right, we got a couple things here. Well, we're going to sell this Dell Bostro. Let's go with that. Unit price, just for this example, we're going to put $50. And sorry, it's actually the other way around. $50 is our cost, and our unit price is $100. That's 100% markup. Save and close. Well, I'll put a description in here. All right, so I got a quote generated. I'm going to just publish this quote. The whole thing with publishing here, I do not do any of this stuff when I actually do real quotes because, again, we're using Zumentum for all this. But I need to create a quote just so that everyone can kind of see how this works. Okay, so that's completed. I should be able to close this out. And if I go back to this opportunity, there should be a quote associated to it. And there it is. All right, so let's say that the customer approved the quote. In Zumentum, they would select, signed, it'll be approved. And then as soon as the quote's approved, then you have to run the WOW, which is the Win Opportunity Wizard. This is just a critical component that you have to do. So if you're using another quoting tool, we used to use QuoteWorks as well. You have to basically run everything through the WOW to make all this work. That's the only way I've gotten it to work. So when you go to the opportunity, you're going to go to Win Opportunity Wizard. And now you're going to go through these little steps here. So the total revenue on this, let's just put $100. This stuff should be populated. I'm going really, really fast, so there's some things I'm kind of skipping here. But this will give you a gist of what's going on. So the Win Opportunity Wizard is going to allow you to create a ticket with the hardware that you sold. Or you can, if you had a proposal that you created in Autotask, you can activate the proposal as well. If you had recurring services in your quote, you can actually add those recurring services to a service contract. So for this example, we're going to create a ticket in the post sale queue. All right, so here's the opportunity name, new server project. My team usually does enter more information here, like the client name sometimes and some other notes. The work types is also important. I'm going to make this just as billable and convert the following quote items. So products and one-time charges, that's fine. Convert the quote items into ticket charges on the post-sale ticket. So this should just all go next, and then there should be a finish here somewhere. All right, so once the wizard's complete, this is why we call it the WOW, Win Opportunity Wizard. You're going to go to Open New Ticket. And now what you're going to notice is that there's a ticket that has this hardware associated to it. As you can see here, it's Del Bostro status waiting on approval. Now here's how the procurement and inventory stuff now works. And I'm going to keep this window here open as well. So back in Autotask, if you go down to the inventory module, you have purchase approvals. And this is the first step, and we're going to go through all these steps in order. So purchase approvals would basically mean that you're approving this to be purchased. Now, in fairness, what we typically do is we invoice the customer first. So I'm actually kind of skipping a step. So let me go back and show you that. What I would do if I wanted to invoice this right away, I would go to Tools, go to Invoice Now. It's going to basically approve and post all the non-posted items, which would be the items on this thing here. I'm going to go to Preview Invoice. So here's a preview of that invoice. And if I go back and I can just go to Process Invoice, and it's actually going to process the invoice. We're set up with QuickBooks Online, so this invoice is going to go to QuickBooks Online within the hour. It syncs. We'll send it to the customer. And now let's assume that the customer paid. There's really no way to know that the customer paid. Actually, there is a way, but it's for a different video. But let's just say that the customer paid already. Okay, great. So now what you can do is you can go back into the inventory module and go to purchase approvals. And so this module, the way I see it is, if I'm the owner of the company, which I am, and I just want to approve this to be ordered already by my team, I can go to approve. Or I can give this function to someone in my office to say, hey, anything that's been paid for, check with accounting. If it's been paid for, then you can come in here and approve it to be purchased. Or actually, my accounting person can actually go in here and approve things that have been paid for already. So this is up to you how you want to figure this out. There's also a setting in Autotask that you can state that anything over, I think, $500 needs an approval. Anything under $500, you set the amount, does not require it to go through the purchase approval section. So I'm going to approve this for purchase. There it is. Now, as we're making changes to this, you're going to notice that the ticket, if I can refresh this, is also being updated, which is kind of cool. So now it's in the status of need to order and fulfill. So we're going to go back into the Autotask. Now we're going to the next module, which is purchasing and fulfillment. And if you notice here, I also received an email that things have been approved and they're ready to be fulfilled. So now if you had someone that did all your procurement, they can just work off of this module, purchasing and fulfillment. So these are all the things that we have to order in our office. Let's go ahead and look up Acme. There's that server or that computer. Now, you can certainly just hit bypass procurement for the selected items. And honestly, I think if you do that, it goes directly into, actually, I don't know where it would go to because we rarely do that unless we're trying to clean stuff up. Really what we do is we use the Autotask purchase order module as well. So we're going to go to create purchase order. Now the vendor name where we're going to buy this from, let's just do Cynics. There we go. Um, I'm going to select the name. All the information you can fill out in here is always great. The invoice number, you can enter that at a later time, but that's great when you want to reconcile your Cynix's invoice. You can see how they all match up. So here I'm going to go to Save and Submit. So what this is letting me know is that since I'm using the inventory module, that Dell Vostro PC, I didn't select when I added it to my inventory that it's available through Cynix. So that's why it's just letting me know that, hey, FY, this isn't available through Cynix. But I'm going to order it through Cynix anyways through this for this example. So now that I would typically go to the Cynix website, place the order for the equipment, and then I'm going to receive an estimated date. So now I can enter the estimated arrival date of this computer. Let's put a week out and hit Save and Submit. And if you go back to the if you go back to the ticket, I'm going to refresh this again. Check out the status on this now, which is kind of cool. It's on order now, and it's expected to be delivered 7/26/2024. So let's fast forward. It's been a week already, and this just arrived in our office. And as you can see, I also received an email about a purchase order being submitted. I can go into the inventory module. I can go to purchase orders, and I can also just view, um, all my purchase orders. Let me just type it in better. Cynix search. I got a lot of POs for Cynix. Okay, let's just do POs created today. That might be easier. I'm trying to make this video short, so I'm going really, really fast here. There we go. PO 2003. I can always view any PO that I have. I can click on the PO. I can see what was on the PO, right? Now, let's say, again, this computer just arrived from FedEx. It's in my office. My receiving person goes into inventory, and we go to receiving. And because we have an open PO for this, we can see all the things that are available to be received. So I'm going to receive this PC now in the office. I'm going to select that I received 1 unit of that. I can actually set the price, what it was. So what I'm going to do here is I'm receiving this on the packing slip. If there's an invoice number, this is a perfect opportunity to input that vendor invoice number. Any freight charges that Cynix charged you, which I think usually they charge you $12 or something, that would go there. So let's just make up an invoice number. I'm going to put test 1234, save and close. And since I don't know if I actually updated the price on this, but if your packing slip had a different price on the item and you enter that when you're receiving it, you can actually update the price in your inventory for that piece of equipment. All right, so now if I go back to my ticket that has this item on it and I go to charges and expenses, it's ready to deliver and ship. So at this point, we're pretty much done now. It's been received. There's nothing to really do, and we never use a delivery and shipping module. But let's say that you had hundreds of items in your warehouse and you needed to. So this module, sorry, I keep getting interrupted. It is a weekend at home. So this module, we really don't use it. But what's cool about it is you can actually create I think a pick ticket from it. So like, let's say that you had 10, or maybe you're building a server and you got memory, CPU, power supply, a case. You can actually create a pick ticket for this and give this to one of your employees to go into the warehouse and pull these items. He can then confirm that he picked all these items out of the warehouse. So that's kind of neat. This is just really, you print this, it goes out. You can also do a create packing list. So if you're going to ship this out to the customer, that's also kind of cool. You can do it from here. And once you deliver and ship this, you can actually set as it's been fulfilled, and you can create a packing slip and a pick ticket. Both those items that I just showed you, click OK. You get two PDFs or two windows you can print as PDFs. And if you go back into the, and of course I got another email. If you go back into the Autotask window, it's been delivered, shipped, and installed. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it works well. Other things that we also do is we have Autotask PO syncing in with QuickBooks Online. We just figured out how to all that works. But what's neat about it is our POs in Autotask sync into QuickBooks Online, as I just mentioned. Then what we're able to do is convert that PO into a bill, and then we're able to itemize all the items on that bill, associate them to a customer, and then if we paid it with a credit card, we're able to receive payment or offset that bill with the payment. So it allows us to really understand where all our purchases are going. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the video.